Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another segment of Carey's notebook. So guys, in today's video I am going to be doing something else on TB, that is tuberculosis, because I myself am a TB survivor and I use this platform to create awareness and to help reduce TB stigma, especially among the young people like me. So guys, some times back I did a full video on my TB journey, how I contracted TB, my journey, the whole of it. So guys, if you want to see the whole story, the link is in my description box, the link to the whole video. Kindly make sure you check that out. So in today's video I am going to be focusing on the awareness part of it, like the part that I should have known from these signs and symptoms, this is TB and I should probably go get myself checked up, which I didn't. And I feel like most people are still there, most people still do that. Like, you have the symptoms but you don't get yourself checked because, just like me, you feel like, oh, you didn't know that this is TB. So I'm going to be telling you a story that is like, I'm going to be focusing my story today on the awareness part of it. So guys, make sure you watch till the end, and if you have any question or comments or any that you want to share, let me know in the comment section below. So let's get started. So guys, like I said, in today's video my story is going to focus on the awareness part of it, like how not aware I was that this is TB and I should probably get myself tested, or there's not at any one point and I thought that this is TB for such a long time. So apart from the fact that I was coughing, okay, so my symptoms started with the coughing, but for me that was not a sign that this is TB, because I just felt like this is a normal stubborn cough that is not going away, despite the fact that I've been coughing for like almost 2 or 3 weeks. The trigger for me was the pain in my knees. You see the joints, the pain in my knees. There was so much pain. So there was pain in my knees during the day, and then it used to worsen at night. So it was a lot, like extreme pain, like someone is just stabbing you with a sharp object on the knee. So that was the trigger for me. That is the reason I decided to go to the hospital. Not even the cough, not even the fact that I was, sweating at night. So just went to the hospital. And I remember that time I was just given, the first time round I was just given the cough and then some medicine to stop the pain. Okay, some medicine to stop the pain in my knees, but that did not work, because after like 3 or 4 days the pain came back, the coughing was still there, and the pain came back. Okay, but like I said, I was paying more attention to the pain, because for the cough I was like, this is going to go away, it's just that it has overstayed, but it's going to go away. So the second time round that I went to the hospital, and this is where my story is. So I'm at the hospital and I'm on the line, so I'm queuing. Okay, so where I stay at my home, the hospital is just like, we live very near to the very close to the hospital. We're so close to the hospital, so it's like we even share the same wall with the hospital, so it's just there. So I'm there, but I'm on the queue, I'm on the line, and then I suddenly start to feel um dizzy. I don't want to feel weak. It's like I don't want to feel, it's, you feel like the smell. This is sometimes the hospital smell just irritates you, but this time around it was too much. I just felt like my whole world is going round. So I just decided to like leave the queue, stand up, and go outside to go and get some fresh air. Okay, so I decided to stand up and go outside. So I stand up, but I feel a wave of, like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a wave of weakness. I am so weak. I am even forcing myself to stand up, trying to get the strength to move one step to another place. Okay, so I just stood up. I went outside. Like I said, I am struggling because I can feel myself. I'm not okay. Okay. So the hospital is like, there is a place where you go to wait. So the waiting area where I was, and then there's the other side where there's like green grass. You can just go and stay there, stay on the bench. So that is where I wanted to go. Okay, between the waiting area and this other place here that has grass for you to, to just go and rest, there's a road, the road, because the gate is, so there's something in between here. So there's the gate here, and then the road, and then there's the gate. So I was supposed to cross that hospital road and then go to the other side and sit there. But guys, I'm telling you, I am trying to gather the strength to move from one step to another. So I remember very well, this, okay, inside the hospital, those cars, those vehicles are moving around. They move around slowly because there are lots of patients passing. Okay, so I can see there's a vehicle coming towards the gate. Okay, so it's in the middle here, and I want to go to the other side. Okay, but I'm crossing the road, and that is where my strength ends. Okay, so guys, I just feel my body just give my knees are weak, my body just gives in, and I just boom right there on the road. There's this coming car that is coming, but good thing is it was coming, it was moving in a slow speed, and that is where my body decides to shut down, and I just fell. Okay, it didn't like totally faint because I could remember everything that happened after that, but I just fell there. Okay, so there were some women that were on the other side, not the side that I was supposed to go and sit down and rest. There's some women there, so I can remember they just came and picked me up, and then they sat me there. Okay, so I could just feel so weak, so weak, and then the moment they just sat me there, I started vomiting. Okay, started vomiting like a lot. Okay, so this time I am still weak, I am vomiting. I can feel like, I don't know, I can't even describe that feeling, but I can remember that time very well. So they just told me, I could hear some of them saying, this could be malaria, maybe she's suffering from malaria, let's just like put her here for like a few minutes and then take her back inside. So I just stayed there for like 10 minutes or 20 minutes, and then I just started feeling a little bit better, not so good, but a little bit better. So I just told them I'm fine, and then went back to the line. Okay, so my turn to see the doctor was almost, I think there was like 3 or 4 people ahead of me. So I just stayed there, but remember, I am still feeling so weak. I stand up, but still feeling so weak. So I go inside to see the doctor, and then this the same doctor that gave me the medications the first time is the same one that I met, and I was like, you're still coughing, that cough has not gone away. And I'm like, yeah. So they sent me to the lab. Okay, so when I came back, I think they said something like I had an infection, a blood infection or something, and then the only medication that I was given is to a strong antibiotic. So I remember the doctor telling me to buy those strong antibiotics because they would help. So for me, I was like, okay, maybe it's just the infection that was giving me that bad feeling at the hospital. Maybe if I take this medication, I will be fine. So I went back home, and let me tell you guys, I took that medication, I took those strong antibiotics for like within 3 days the cough was back, and the pain in the knees was still back. Okay, so guys, that is what I want to concentrate my story on. So for the rest of, like I said, if you want to see the rest of the story, the link is in my description box. You can see the rest of it. So today just wanted to center on that part, like how unaware I was, even at this point, even myself. There is no way that I thought at that time that this could be TB. Okay, maybe it's because I have never maybe come across, had like to see TB like firsthand, or it's the fact that I thought there is no way I could get TB. Like for young people, you don't think that, because young people, most of us think that TB is an older person disease, so there is no way. I just thought there's something wrong with me, but I don't know what it is. Okay, doctor didn't say it's TB. They didn't test me for TB, so it couldn't be that. Okay, so guys, I feel like that is where most of us are on awareness. Like if we had all this, if I had this information, like if you cough too much for maybe 2 or 3 weeks, if you're sweating at night, if you have pain in your joints, then maybe you should go to hospital and get tested for TB. Like if I had known at that point that it could be TB, go and get tested for TB, then I could have started my medication right there and then. Because it actually, when I went home, it actually took a while longer. So I even went back to school. I went back to school without knowing it's TB all this time. I stayed like maybe 3 or more other weeks before, I got weaker, and for now I went to another hospital, which I was tested, and I was discovered it is TB. So I thought, like, most people are still there. Okay, we need to be more aware. So if you're coughing constantly, if you're sweating at night, if you have all these pain joints, if you have all these TB symptoms, maybe you yourself could also say that this could be TB. And the good thing about TB, guys, let us not forget that it's completely treatable, it's completely curable, because the moment you're put on a medication plan and you complete your medications, it is gone and gone and gone for good. Because like I said, guys, in that video, I was put on a medication plan, so mine was 6 months. I took my TB medication for 6 months and it was gone. The TB was tested and it was gone. Okay, so let us not be afraid about that. Another thing that we need to, like, I feel like most people need to overcome is, the stigma that comes with TB. So for myself, I experienced that firsthand. Like, I remember not telling anyone at all, none of my friends, none of my family members, except for my mom and my dad. I did not tell anyone that I had TB. I did not tell my friends. I did not tell anyone, because I feel like if I had the, if there wasn't so much stigma around it, maybe you could have told someone and tell them, this is TB, this is what it looks like, this is where I am on my medication, this is my progress so far. If it's something that people can talk about, then maybe we can reduce it. It doesn't have to be, if I come in and tell you TB, you don't have to avoid me or shun me, or you're afraid that that person is going to infect you, because you also need to know that the moment that someone that has TB is on medication, then they can no longer infect you, because the medication is working. Okay, so that is where we should all stop with the stigmatization. You don't have to stigmatize the other person simply because they have TB. And again, guys, remember, TB again is curable. So don't be afraid to go to the hospital. If you feel like you have any of those symptoms, get tested, do your medications properly, and then by the end of, maybe for some people go 6, others go 9, it all depends. And then by the time you finish your medication, then you'll be good. And I did the whole 6 months. And then by the time I went back to tested again for TB, by the end of the 6 months, it was not there. So it's just something that gets treated once you take your medication. Okay, so guys, I think that is it for today's video. If you have any questions that you need to know, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll probably answer them when I do another TB video in this section of Carey's notebook. So bye bye.